Hi guys, a great evening to you all. You know, it's your girl Ancelena Versatility, Boyd, the versatile one. The channel where you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Guys, I just want to say welcome, and welcome to another Tuesday evening of Let's Talk. This evening, our topic or our focus will be on Child's Month. So, we're in the month of May, and we use this month to celebrate our children. So, we will be looking at the theme for Child's Month this month. Yes, which is Listen Up. Children's voices matter. So that is what we will be focusing on this evening. Once again, I want to welcome you all to my channel. If it's your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are a returning resident, I am happy to have you back with us. And also, don't forget to like, share, and as I said before, subscribe. And you may also leave a comment. I want you people to just fire up the chat this evening. I have two great presenters for us this evening. So, as we get closer to the time of presentation, I will share more information with you. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and now share out this live. All right, so stay tuned for what lies ahead for you this evening. Welcome, Artavia. Welcome, Glacia. Great evening to you all once again. Welcome, Deaconess. Welcome, Ariana. Welcome, Sister Marel. Welcome, Deandra. Welcome, Mrs. Banton. Am I missing anyone? No. Welcome, Joshua. Happy to have you over here this evening. I am just waiting on some more persons to join before we go ahead with this evening's program. Okay? So, for those of you who just joined, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be looking at the theme for Child's Month this year, and it is Listen Up, Children's Voices Matter. So, this evening we'll be having two presenters. The first presenter will be looking at the theme on a whole, this evening's topic, and our second presenter will be looking at how we should listen and the importance of parents listening to their children. And also, I would love, or I would hope to hear from some parents also this evening, just sharing their experience, whether it is that they're young parents, mature parents, um, children, parents of adult children, parents of young children, it doesn't matter. We want to hear your views on the topic this evening. How do you listen to your child or your children? Do you listen to them? So, we want to have a very wonderful discussion this evening, and we also want to learn from the discussion this evening. Welcome, Mrs. Davis. Welcome. Welcome, Mrs. Anderson. Greetings again, everyone. So, my presenters, they are on and we are ready to get the show on the road this evening. So, as I mentioned earlier, we will have two main presenters this evening. The first presenter will be looking at the topic this evening, the theme for Child's Month this year: Listen Up, Children's Voices Matter. So she will looking at the broad topic. However, our second presenter, she will kind of dissect it a little, and she will speak to us on how we should listen to our children and the importance of listening to our children. So, after our presentation, the platform will now be open for children and parents just to share their experience. All right. So, we are going to start off with Miss Glacia Richardson, our first presenter this evening. She is a student at the University of the West Indies, also my church sister and friend, an excellent human being. Um, all right, so over to you, Sister Glacia.
Good night, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. I do
I'm
apologize.
hearing.
Awesome, awesome. I do apologize for the absence of my video tonight. As was said, the theme for Child Month for the year 2022 is Listen Up, Children's Voices Matter. I'll repeat, listen up. Children voices matter. I decided to start by telling us the definition of the word listen. As you know, listen is an action word, it's a verb. To listen is to give attention to sound or action. When listening, one is hearing what others are saying and trying to understand what it means. Currently, you are listening to what I am saying. So we're via this medium, we're actually employing the tactic of listening. The first part of the theme implies the need for parents or family members to listen more, listen up. As parents and guardians of children, are we listening to what they are truly saying? Have you asked your child, how do you feel about me doing this? How was school today? A lot of us as parents say, I don't need to ask opinion of my child. A child is a child, and I am the adult. But in this day and time, it is very important for us as parents to listen to our children. Most persons or most parents believe a child should be seen and not heard. I have grown up and heard this saying. It's a popular proverb that a child should be seen and not heard, which basically means that whenever an adult is talking, a child should not be present. A child should not butt in. A child should not have any say. And so, in today's age and society, we have to try and pull away from that concept that a child does not have any voice, that child does not have any opinion, that child should not say, Mommy, I do not like when you do this, or Daddy, you are hurting me, or Daddy, I do not feel. They have an overwhelming feeling of whatever is going on around them. And I think it's so vital, it's really important why the ministry chose this topic for child months, because a lot of children are silent. A lot of children are so scared to say something that is going to cause a parent to feel offended or a parent to feel embarrassed, even if it's for them to be protected. And so we have to move away from the old notion that a child should only be seen. A child does not have any a child does not have any voice. Their opinions, whatever they have to say, does not matter. A child's voice matter in this age and time. I have seen some statistics that I would like to enlighten us tonight. When I was reading it, I was a bit shocked. It said before 2020, there were on average 1,200 reports of child abuse per month.
Wow.
1,200 reports of child abuse per month. While in 2020 and 2021, there have been between 800 to 900 reports per month. There was a decrease or a decline in the number of reported cases of child abuse because guess what? Children were home more with their parents. And so they were able, in a sense, to actually see what was happening with their child and actually to try and figure out what is wrong, what is going on. A lot of times when parents have to go to work and they leave their child in an unknown environment, might leave it with a friend or a family member, a lot of children get abused. Mark you, some children have been abused more during the pandemic than it was before when they had to go to school face to face. But the statistics have shown that during the pandemic, approximately 300 to 400 cases or less. And it's so important because in this age and time, we have to encourage our children to speak up. If something
Yes.
is wrong, if something is going wrong, encourage them to speak up. A child have a voice. Look at a baby, for instance. When a baby cries, you hear the sound of the baby, even though they're not physically saying any word. The action of them crying sends out a signal, and you, as the parent, try to figure out what is wrong. Is a child
Mhm.
tired? Is a child hungry? Does a child need to be changed? That is a form of listening to what your child is saying. If you had a child and the child was there crying, and you say, "Me should go and cry, man, me can't bother," and the child will be there crying and crying and crying non-stop. But as a parent, as a mother for an infant, you chose to listen to the signs of the child crying. So why aren't we listening to know when our child can actually voice it out? Why aren't you listening to a child can say, "Mommy, this is wrong. Daddy, this is wrong. Grandma, this is wrong"? Why aren't we open to listening what when our child is talking? A lot of I think one of the reasons why the ministry chose this topic is because a lot of children are suffering in silence. A lot of children
Yes.
want to say, "Mommy, I'm being bullied
Right,
at school.
time to wake up.
Mommy, I
Good
don't feel
morning. Happy
comfortable
days
about
morning.
this person. Mommy, this person have hurt me. This person," but they are so scared that guess what? Mommy not gonna want to listen, you know. Mommy gonna say, "Shut your mouth, man. Nothing doesn't go that way," and that should never be the case. When your child comes to you and say, "Mom, this happened," have an open mind. Don't be quick to dismiss your child. A lot of us as parents, we are so quick to dismiss our child when our child say, "This is wrong." We have to listen up. I guess that's one of the reasons why they came up with this. Used to be a popular series on TV that's a talk up youth. On
Yes.
TV, they talk up youth, and
I
a
used
lot
to
of
love that program.
yes, a lot of young people would come and share their views on certain issues and certain things that are happening and affecting them because they have a voice. It's not everything that you say now goes in a certain aspect because where we were grown decades ago is not the way we can grow children in this era. Back then, children could say have a safe haven. So when mommy not there was, but in this age and time when technology is so advanced, there are so many things out there happening to your child that you have to listen. As a parent, you have to learn to actively listen. Because sometimes we claim that we are listening, but we're not listening.
And Glacia, just to interject a little, when I was doing my research based on the topic and I was reading, it was saying that we need to go back to the days when it was the village that raised our
Yes,
children and not just the parent alone. That too really have an impact, has an impact on our children today, because we kind of move away from the village raising because we realize that the society, the children of this modern society, it is far more different from while we were growing up also.
that is so true. Back then, if a neighbor saw that a child was walking down the wrong path, and a neighbor go to the mother would be so eager to go. And but nowadays, you have to. Parents are so guarded that you, as a outsider, you are so scared to say, well, sister so and so, I saw your daughter walking down that road, and I don't think your child should be going that road because
Yes.
that road is not. You're so scared because parents will retaliate. Even as teachers nowadays, you can't really say much to children because they say their parents are this or they and it's gonna be like this all carrying on. And so you have to go back to the days when we are open to for others to be able to help and grow your child.
Mhm.
Because as a parent, especially as a working parent, you're not gonna be able to see everything that your child is doing
Right.
24 hours of the day. You won't be able, especially as a working parent. No
Yes.
matter how you try your best, you're not gonna be there to see that to every need, every care of your child 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But when a village is raising a child, you don't have to worry. When you can say, oh, my child is going, oh, I can say, see, neighbor, can your daughter is going to school, can you pick up? Man, just say, no problem, man. Go to work, I'll pick up your child can stay home. You don't have to worry because your child is taken care of. No, it's like everybody's in their own self, their own section. No, I don't business about your child and you shouldn't worry about mine. And that should not be the case because when village was raising children, the children were different then than how they are now. The children were different then than how they are now. I have learned that especially when children are so young, they're like sponges, absorbing everything in their environment.
Yes.
They're like, I've learned, they say the best age for your child to learn all that the child can learn is between 1 to 5 years old. If
Their
you if
formative age.
yes,
Years, yeah.
yes, that's the best time. And as we grow our child tenderly, encourage them to voice their concerns, encourage them to speak up, encourage them to say, mommy listens, mommy will understand, don't be fearful. And this helps to build their self-esteem. A lot of children back then struggled with self-esteem issues. They were so scared. They struggled for years. And you, as a parent, you think that all is well while your child is struggling with self esteem because they are so scared of talking to you. They are so scared because if I say, Mommy, I'm worried, Mommy's gonna hit me, Mommy's gonna run me away, Mommy's gonna say, move from here, this is not true. Where you get this from? No. If you want the society to change, if you want there to be a difference in today's day and age, it starts with our children because our children are the future. In the next 20 years, these children will be the men and women of society. What kind of society do we want to have? A society plagued by crime and violence, or a society where children are able to speak their opinions respectfully and it does not cause any harm? Speak their opinions and persons are able to say, okay, You have that concern. I understand, but this is my view. I want to say the importance of teaching children active listening. Why is listening important? I'm not going to delve too much, but there are many reasons why it is important for adults to be good listeners to everyone, including a child. The most important is that when you listen to a child, it makes them feel important. When you listen to your child, it makes them feel important. And it's so vital. It's so key that your child knows that she is important. She is valued. I see you. I respect you. I understand what you're going through. Mommy knows. Mommy is open. Because at the time we say, anything you say, I'm ready for you to say anything to me. But when a child come, we always say that period where I say what our child should be able to talk to us about
Yes.
money and everything. That's the kind of relationship we want to have with our child.
That's what I say too.
Yeah, you want to tell them they should be able to come and talk to me about any and everything. But not all parents actually follow through with that statement. Because when a child comes and say, Mommy, you know this or that, you're not ready to say, listen to what your child is saying. Before your child could even finish saying what you're saying, you're butting and you cast it away, you push it underneath the rug. You push it
Yes.
underneath the rug. I've read a story where this young lady said that she was being abused by a relative in her own house. But she was so scared to tell her mom because she was afraid that her mom is going to say that stop tell liar. Her mom is going to be so upset because that
Mm,
relative was the one who takes care of her. That relative was there for her. And so she sat silently in abuse for years until one day a teacher noticed that something was wrong. And her mother was so broken about it that she was questioning herself, asking, how could I not, what happened, where did the communication, where did it break down, that I didn't see that my child was hurting and my child didn't feel comfortable to come and say, Mommy, this is happening to me.
yes.
Mommy, we don't want, and none of us want our children to be hurt. If our child run and fall at the floor, if we could catch our child before he or she will go and catch the child, because we don't want to see the child crying in pain and hurt, because we know what it's like to carry a child for 9 months, all the pain, all the process, and to grow up that child. To grow, we don't want to see any harm happening to our children. And so I'm going to share a few tips that I read about how we should listen, because children voices matter. The first thing is talk to them. Ask your child what activities you want to do. Just go and say, son, what would you like for us to do today? I said, Mom, I would like for us to maybe go to the park, let's go for a walk, or you're building that relationship with your child.
Yes.
You have to, not because you're a mother and a mother and it is a child, that don't mean that you might have a solid relationship with that child. You have to build on the relationship, truly get to know your child, get to understand what is going in that mind of theirs.
You have to be your child's friend, the first
Exactly.
friend for your child.
And some parents say, no, me, I can't be my child's friend. Some
Yes,
parents
yes,
are
you do. You
against it.
need to be.
Some parents are against it. No, I can't be my child's friend. No, I'm a mother, I'm the parent, and she's a child. You need to understand that no, in this age and time, you have to be your
So you
child's
set a
friend.
clear boundary.
Yes, that's where we have to set the boundaries. And yes, I am willing and able for us to be friends, but at the end of the day, I am still your parent. I am still your guardian. When you set that boundary, your child can be the closest of friends, but the child knows say, I won't disrespect mom. I won't disrespect that. I won't cross that. I won't pass that line. But me and mom can be the bestest of friends.
Right.
Second thing, we have to make conversation a priority. We have to encourage our children to talk, have conversation. Just when how was school today? What did you do at school? How did you feel? Just make those the conversations. Talk to your child. I
Yes.
have seen instances where parents that they don't talk to their child. They might just say, dinner is here's your dinner. Child eat a dinner, go and do your homework. And the parent and the child, they don't have no conversation. She get up and you get the child ready to school, the child go to school, you go to work, the child come back home, you give the child dinner, you tell the child to do their homework, send the child to bed, and in between that there's no form of communication, there's no conversation. How are you gonna know what is really happening? How can a child say I can talk to when the child does not even know how to talk to mommy or
Yeah.
daddy? Have to make conversation a priority so you can understand each other. When you communicate, that's how you learn to understand each other's views and opinions, understand what hurts a person, what a person likes, what a person dislikes. We have to build a conversation with our children. When we build a conversation with the children, it allows us to be actively listening to them. The next thing, we have to put down our devices. Put away the phone sometimes. Take away
Undivided attention.
yes, put away the tablet sometimes. Because sometimes you're on your phone busy doing work, the child is on your tablet or the device is playing games and watching. You can't communicate like that. How would you feel if you're talking to me and I'm on my phone? You're saying something important to me and I'm on my phone. How would you feel if you're going to a therapist? Therapist is supposed to, my therapist is there on their phone and you're talking to the therapist, trying to get some advice, trying to get some help. The therapist is there on her phone, minding her own habits. That you would not say that is an effective session. You would
Right.
not go back to that therapist because you're not listening to me. We need to put down even if it's just for 10 minutes. Put down your phone aside, take away the tablet from your child and just talk. Just be tuned in. Life gets hectic at times. We're all busy doing our own thing. We are working. We have our own businesses. We are doing a lot. But don't ever just shut away all the noise and let's just talk and see what is up. The next thing you have to pay attention to your child. You have to pay attention. That of us, so when something is wrong with the child, it shows their actions, their behavior, it shows. If something is wrong with me, my mother can know, because it's either my face set a certain way, or I'm not in the mood, or something is just off about me. You have to pay attention because these are some warning signs. Sometimes a child is going through a lot. Or you look on a child and you say, why does she seem so closed off? Why does she want to always be in her room? Why doesn't she want to be around me? And when you pay attention to these signs, it makes the difference. If you don't have time to engage them at a minute, they are expressing themselves. Make
Yeah.
a mental note to pick up on it again when time allows. But try never to forget. But sometimes you might not have the time at the moment, but make a mental note to say, okay, she said this. We started to talk about it, but I don't have time for us to finish the conversation. Let's pick it up after work. Let's pick it up on the weekend. Let's sit and have a full blown conversation with them at a later date. But never forget to pick up back where you left off in that conversation. Don't forget to, because sometimes we think that not everything is will be able to be said in a few minutes. Sometimes I need hours or come, especially with these teenagers of this day and age.
Yeah.
The children are bad, everything the children, but these teenagers in these times, you have to be willing, you have to make the time are ready to be able to listen to them and for you guys to have a conversation and talk to them. Your kids experience the same emotions that you do. even though they may not yet have the language skills to express them. They also get frustrated, sad, jealous, and embarrassed. Know how to help them to deal with these emotions in a healthy way so their frustrations don't develop into self harming behavior. People sometimes we think that a child at 6 year old can't be embarrassed. A child at, yes, some people think that a child at 6 year old, what do they have to be embarrassed about?
Alina is 3 and she gets embarrassed. She's
Exactly.
3.
It's like a child. If you even talk to a child a certain way, you see they cower, and sometimes they even start to cry. Even it was never your intention, you might not say something, but they felt hurt about it, and they start to cry. A child can even get embarrassed. A child can feel jealous. I have seen that, especially when you as a parent is sharing your attention. I have seen it where you have a daughter, you're paying attention to another baby, and a child come and say, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy," and she gets so, and a child at the age of 3 upward, they can get jealous. A child experiences the same emotions as you do as an adult, but sometimes they don't really understand or don't even know how to
Yes.
express it. So you have to create that safe zone where they can be able to express their emotions, express their feelings. Like when you look on persons who are depressed, persons who have attempted suicide, a lot of the time it goes back to they did not know how to talk to their parents. They didn't know how to express that. Mommy, I feel depressed. Mommy, I always feel like I want to hurt myself. Daddy, something is wrong, because they just don't know how to express themselves. And so at a tender age, you have to try and allow them to express themselves. That's why I encourage, let that child have a little hobby, a little talent where they can learn to express themselves. Encourage them to talk up. Like you have something at church, you encourage them, go and sing a song, be a part of a group. It helps for them to
Right.
learn to express themselves and learn to interact with others. Because a lot of children nowadays, they are so afraid to express themselves that if something is happening in their environment, they keep it all bottled in. And just they always say that pressure bust pipe. No
Yeah.
matter how long it does. No ma- if you have a pressure
Over
cooker
time. Over time.
over time, just like a pressure cooker, everybody who cooks as parents might be on here. They always say when I turn off the stove, don't open the pressure cooker same time because it explode on you. Wait
Yes.
till it stays there for a while. You run it under a pipe, let it stay and sit for a while before you try and open it. Because if you ever try and open it before the time it's ready to open, it's gonna explode on you. That's just the way our emotions are. If you bottle up our emotions for so long, after a time it's going to explode, and sometimes it's hard to put back the pieces together after an explosion as a core.
So sometimes we see our children acting out and they're doing
Yes,
certain things. And this is because we did not allow them to talk up. We did not allow them to speak up. We did not listen to them. Over time, they keep storing and they keep keeping these things, everything that is happening to them on the inside. And they become withdrawn. And then after a while, they start acting out. And we wonder what is happening to our child, and then not realizing that the fault is on us as
that's
parents.
true. I remember today I was watching this show, and the mother was they were going back over the past, and then they were blaming somebody for something they thought the adult they was doing. She thought the babysitter was smoking. And when she sat down and talked to her adult daughter, she said that she was the one smoking. The mother said, "You were smoking at 9 years old." She said yes, because she was going through things just like how everybody else, and she as the mother didn't see it.
All
She turned
right.
to smoking. Mother said, "At 9 years old, what do you have to be?" She said, "I was going through things, but you were never around to see that I was going through things, so I chose to smoke." Children go through things just
So
like
they will find alternative
alternative.
measures to
Yes,
deal with whatever it is that they're going through if we don't avail ourselves to listen to them, to
yes.
talk with them.
Let them know that their voice matters, their opinion matters, their view matters. It matters. Once we teach our child that whatever they say, it matters, it changes a lot of things. It does change a lot of things. Learn how to read a non-verbal cues. Your children, especially younger kids, will express their feelings through facial expressions,
Mm-hmm.
body language,
Mm-hmm.
behavior, and play. Sometimes, as you said, they may act out their feelings in a problematic way. Know
Yes.
when to spot these cues and how to react so that your child is helped, not harmed or embarrassed. You ever hear of instances where you're at school and a child is playing with another child and the child is playing too aggressively? You're wondering what is happening while the two children are playing and the other one is so aggressive. And
Yes.
you some a lot of times watch how they play, watch how they interact with those around their age, and you can see what really is happening to them
Mm-hmm.
by watching how they interact with others, because sometimes they don't understand the emotion, they don't understand how to express anger, they don't understand how to express being frustrated or annoyed, and so they take it out on their peers, in ways that it to them is nothing, but it's actually something. They have to pay attention to the non-verbal cues. Have to watch, observe your child's behavior. Have your child started to act out over a period of time?
They say, just a minute, please. There's a background noise. I don't know if it's your fan. It's overpowering you.
Oh, sorry. You have to pay
Yes.
attention to these non-verbal cues. We have to see, we have to notice any change in our child or children's behavior, because that's where it starts. It all starts with their behavior. It no matter what, it all starts with their behavior. Something changed. They're not the same as they were before. Something is either they have an attitude, it's either they're aggressive, it's either they're closed off, it's either they're always sad. It's There's always something there. We have to pay attention to
Yes.
these non-verbal cues. If something is happening with your child, they are more than likely to share with you using their own cues than with a stranger. Make sure your ears and your eyes are perked up to find these cues.
Yes.
Make sure your eyes are open and your ears are willing to listen, because you should be the first one to be there to say, darling, what's wrong? I noticed that you have been acting out. I noticed that when you're playing with um Zach, you don't want to share. It's like if he touches your toy, you quickly grab it away from him. What is wrong? And you go to that
Yes.
child softly. It's not always good to go with brute force.
Yes.
A lot of parents, they don't go quietly, go with brute force. And they go and they're already angered and they're already upset.
And
That
then
they,
the child is going to put up a defense. The child is
yes,
not going to want to speak at that time.
exactly. Like for instance, if you have a child and get a call from a teacher that your daughter or your son was acting up at school, as a parent, sometimes we don't wait to listen to hear what the child say why she acted up at school. We get so upset when we go home. No TV for you, or no, I'm gonna take away your phone. How could you do this? Why did you do it? And oh no, you're there venting your anger. Oh no, you don't ask the child what really
Yes.
happened. What really happened today at school? What caused you to do this? And the child can say, Mommy, this is what happened. Then you can have an try to have an unbiased opinion.
Right.
Try to be objective. Because as parents, sometimes we are biased, you know. We are biased for our children. But
Yes.
when we're teaching, we have to teach them fairness. We have to teach them to be fair. And in order to do that, we have to try and say, listen. You have to listen to them. After they have expressed themselves, help them to learn to manage their feelings in a positive and constructive way. By listening to what they say and by observing their behavior, you'll be able to figure out what they are feeling and help them identify, express, and manage those feelings better. It further helps, if further help is needed, enlist the help of an expert in child psychology for guidance. Because sometimes it's above you as a parent. And it's very important to see when you need to get expert help. Nothing is wrong if your child needs to see a psychologist.
Yes.
It does not make you a bad parent.
Not
Your
at all.
child has they have to go to a psychologist. And that's why a lot of persons have this whole negative view of going to psychologists or therapists because they feel that a parent some people automatically associate psychology with you being mentally ill.
Yes.
And sometimes a psychologist can be better able to allow you to find out what is actually going on in your mind. Because sometimes I might say something to you and you might think you understand how I feel, but sometimes you don't understand. I don't think you actually understand how I feel. But a trained person who understands how the mind works will be better able to provide guidance for your child and help a child, especially when a child is going through some behavioral issues.
Yes.
So it does not make you a bad parent if your child has to go and see a psychologist. It makes you a good parent when you see the need and allow your child to go through the process with it. That is effective parenting. And
Indeed.
above all, you need to be a role model for your child.
Oh, yes.
Children learn how to express themselves by watching their parents, how you behave, what you talk about, and how you interact with others. Make sure that you're always being a positive influence. Make sure you're always being a positive influence. I've heard it. Anyhow, when you see a child acting out or carrying on certain way at school, the first thing you say that must have been what how his parent is at home. When you hear a child carrying on and cursing, it goes back to their home. What kind of
Yes.
environment they are a part
They
of?
omit what they learn.
Yes. Say train up the child in the way he should go, and when he's whole, he'll not depart from it. But don't have double standards. Don't be have a double standard where you say you want a child to do this and you're doing the opposite.
Yes.
Don't have a double standard.
What do they say? Practice what you preach,
Exactly.
or
Has
model what you
what you
want your child to do.
exactly.
Yes.
So we have to be role models for our children. If we want our children to express themselves in a good and positive way, we have to express ourselves with others in that way. If we want our children to talk to you, if you want our children to be able to have their opinions, have their views, and be able to bring across it in a respectful manner, you have to do so as the parent.
Yes.
You can't be saying you can't talk to while you are talking to their father that way, or you are talking to their mother that way. It is a double standard. And as we encourage our children to listen, as we encourage our children that their voices matter, we have to be as parents open and ready to listen. We have to be more involved in our children's lives. We have to be able to notice those non-verbal cues. We have to be able to ask for outside help when it's needed. And most of all, we have to encourage a relationship with your child that involves active listening, and proper communication. We have to communicate properly. And we have to, when we have a relationship built on communication, then all
Good
will be well in order.
communication. Because communication will take place, Sometimes the communication will take place, but it's not good and it's not effective.
Effective.
Yes, so it
Yes.
needs to be good and it needs to be
Be
effective.
effective. Effective. When your child says something, listen first, then you give your feedback. Don't
Right.
be quick to butt in when your child say. Before the child could even say, huh, you're gone down the child with the throat. You shut up the child. No. As parents, have to learn to listen first, then we give our feedback and our response. I hope you have learned something from our presentation. It was good being on, it was good sharing because this is really a theme that is needed for children of today. Thank you
Yes.
so much for
All
listening.
right. Thank you very much, Glacia, for sharing with us this evening. I am not seeing my parents or any children. Nobody. I don't see my chat blowing up this evening. I want to hear from you this evening. I want to get your feedback this evening. You can share. How do you communicate with your child, your children? Do you listen to them? Do you create the avenue or the platform? Is there an open field for them to come to you, mommy or daddy, and just speak up and you listen to them? We want to hear from you this evening. Thank you once again, Glacia. I am sure I have learned a lot. I have gathered a lot from your sharing this evening. And I also hope those who are listening, watching, have learned something also. And we will put them into practice, not just come on here this evening and listen and hear, but we want you to incorporate them in your parenting. All right, so our next presenter this evening is no other than Mrs. Tanisha Turner. Uh, what should I say? A very experienced mother, a woman of knowledge, and she will be coming to share with us this evening on why it is important for us to listen to our children and how should we listen to them. Over to you, Deaconess. Your mic is muted.
Oh, good night, everyone. Good night. Since I turn on the wrong, I turn on the camera instead of
Oh,
the mic.
okay.
Okay, good evening, each and everyone. My God, what can I say after I just listened to Sister Glacia? She
Yes.
has touched on everything.
Yes, true.
But she has spoken like a mother, like
Yes.
a
Experience
biological
more than
mother. Yes, like she went through some things.
Yes.
And but the society that we are living in, we 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 are experienced by our siblings, our parents leaving us with the smaller ones, or we have cousins, extended family, and all of those stuff. So kind
Yes.
of allow us to gain certain experience, whether we are biological parents or not. And the ministry has chosen a very, very vital, very important topic. Listen up, children. Their voices matters. And a lot of us parents, mm, as Sister Glacia would then say, children must be seen and not heard. But we had that concept all wrong from day one.
Yes.
And this is something that we as parents have to put behind us with what is going on. So many experiences of our children because of parents not listening, because of parents not taking paying keen attention. So many things have happened to our children. And
Yes.
and those are some of the phrases that we should put behind us as parents. Parents does our duty as parents, we don't get a manual. We don't
Mm-mm.
get a manual. And that is one of the things that I think it makes us unique, being our individual parents as we are, parenting in our own way, because every children comes with their different, attitude, their different characters, their different, features. They come with some are outspoken, some are not. So those are, so I
Yes.
think we are privileged not to be given a manual on how to grow our children. The Bible says, grow up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it.
Great.
And as parents, this is what we have to live by, to grow them up when they will, even if they go against what you have taught them, it is still in them because you instill it in them
Yes.
from they were very young. All right. So my topic this evening, I should be talking about how should we listen to our children. Oh, if you listen, everybody's going to look at, well, me have 2 ears. That's how me listen. But honestly, we can listen in so many different ways and form.
Yes.
So many different. We can listen with our eyes,
The
right? Because
non-verbal actions. Yes.
none exactly, right? So some of my pointers that I looked in, and I based these off my very own children. I didn't research. I based these off my very own little family of mine. So
Yes.
sit and listen attentively. Sit and listen attentively. Sometimes we are doing our work and the children are seeking our attention. But because of what we are doing, we stand, we keep on doing what we are doing, and then they say, mommy not listening to me. Yes, sometimes you are really listening, but they, in their sight, in their belief, you are not listening because you are occupied by something else.
Right.
Sometimes sitting is a form of getting down to their level,
Yes.
right? When you stand and they're so short, they're so small, it is like you're overpowering them then at that stage. So when you sit with them, then they feel like you and them are at the same level where they
Yes.
can, reach out to
Open
you.
up. Yes.
Open up. So you listen attentively while sitting. Don't sit, and as Sister Glacia said, don't sit and have your gadget doing. Don't sit and be watching TV. Don't sit and be talking to two, three, four somebody at the same persons at the same time while you're talking to your child or your children. When they are talking, do not interject unless it is of utmost importance.
Yes.
Some things where you really can't make that slide, you know, yes,
Yes.
then you interject there and say, hold on a minute. I did hear you say so and so. I want to get this point clear, and so forth. But do not interject unless it is very important. Sometimes when you interject for the part that catches you most, and that is not what the child wants to convey to you, want to say to you. It comes up in what they are saying, but that's not the importance of why they want to talk to you. But that's what grabs you. So you interject and you take that part and you make it the biggest of the conversation that you're having. It it kinds of it kinds of let the child don't worry want to say what he was saying, because if mommy I go deal with that the part there, so then if she hear that part there, she now you understand, she go
Yes.
behave more. So it kind, yes, it kinds of weaken the strength that they had to communicate with you. When you're communicating with a child, look at them directly. Look at them directly. If they
Yes.
are holding down their head, ask them, look at me. You're talking to me. You're not talking to the ground. You're not talking to the ceiling. You're not talking to the bed. You're not talking to the floor. Look at me. When you look on each other, then you know how to read your child. When their faces are all over, you cannot have an eye contact. So you can read them as how you want to read them. right? And as we said, listening to them is, you don't have to talk to listen, just looking at them. And sometimes they are there talking to you, sometimes tears are in their eyes. If they are looking elsewhere, you don't know that if you're not looking directly on them, to the
Yes.
extent you will know, yeah, the conversation where it is going, or for you to say, look here, no man, something wrong with my child, him
Yes.
a cry,
Your
yeah,
child
water,
lying
no
down is
man.
really hurting. Yes.
Yes, yes, the child is really hurting. Where the child, especially when you know a pitney and know somebody will cry, or
Right.
somebody will show that emotion. Yes, something is definite. So look into their eyes, look in their face, look at the facial expression that they have while talking to you. See also if the tone of voice that they start when they reach certain point in the conversation, see if the same tone of voice is maintained. If it has changed, that means is either that is of lesser importance or it is more important than what they started out with. Right?
These pointers.
We must
Yeah.
also pay keen attention, as I said, to their actions and their behavior.
Yes.
Their behavior tells you a lot. You don't have to talk to a child to know if something is wrong. Well, most of them, let me put it that way. If you have a quiet child, right? Good in school, grades are okay. And all of a sudden, you see teacher calling you, making complaints. Their grade have changed. They're not maintaining that high average that they normally do.
Yes.
Look at their behavior. See if the behavior also goes with what the teacher is also saying. Or your neighbor, or your friend, or another classmate is the child's peer. You have to look at the behavior to see what make it give you a hint, right? Yes, man, something is really wrong. Him only come from school so late. No, something is definitely wrong. No, man,
Yeah.
him coming home from school too early. No, man, because even though we don't want them to come from school late in the evenings or whenever they go to school, when them come home early, it can be a sign of something.
Right. Yes.
So once there's a change in the behavior that you normally get, look out for it. Something is wrong, find out what it is. Right? We can also listen to our children by looking at their actions. And when I say action, the behavior is different now. You're talking to them, and when you're talking to them. So I make mommy a go answer. She never answer you like that before. Where she come with this attitude there?
Yes.
So the action, the words that they say action speaks louder than word. So the words that they use to you, the body language that they are using now with you can say, what is wrong? You understand? You don't normally be like this, so why are you like this now? You understand all of those stuff? Those
So
are
it's
our
then
own
when your
shit.
child respond to you that certain way, instead of being
Yes.
angry,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being
Yeah.
angry and flaring up on that child, just try and be
Yes.
calm. Just to find,
Yes.
just to get to know what is wrong. Why is my child behaving like this? Because usually your child don't behave like this. So therefore there
Exactly.
must be something that is going on.
Mm-hmm. So, and some of us parents, because it happens to me, I'm not going to lie to you. Some of us parents, when we see that change, you see, because we don't used to it, it kind
Yes.
of trigger we off. Yes. No, sir.
Yes.
Who you talking to, like, we're not used
Yes.
to it. So it triggers something inside of us. But at the end of the day, we must be remembered that some of them, even they are going through teenager stage. you know Things
Yes.
change about them when them see certain things are being mature, their pubic area grow. You understand? All of those, they will feel like them a big smarty. You understand? Because remember, they are around adults, so they will know how adults act too. You understand? So when they see all of these changes, that can also cause it. We must listen our children with an open mind. Must listen to them with an open mind. So many times we say to them, me here, what you say, and that is it. We're not listening, to hear what
Yes.
them say and say, all right, you see, if you as parent, you must tell us, you see, even if it's something bad, me I go listen, me I go be calm. You understand? We have to tell ourselves, convince ourselves, because we know we as parents. We have to convince ourselves that, look here, even if it's something wrong, Just like my son. Always tell my son, tell me the truth. I'm gonna will beat you even if you know it's something wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't beat him, but I will get upset with him and quarrel. And him still cry. So
Yeah.
sometime one of the day he's there and I would say to him, say, Markin, why are you crying? You don't get none for cry, so why are you crying? And one of the day he said to me, he said, Mommy, you know, lick me, but you ball after me. So, oh, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you say some things to them to trust us, and yet still, yes, you don't do that, what you say you're not going to do, but you do something else.
Yeah.
You understand? So we have
True.
to listen to them with an open mind, right? This is how most children communicate directly or indirectly by their actions. So
Yes.
some children will communicate with us parents directly or indirectly, right? Some of them will do things to get your attention. That's the
Yeah.
direct. They will do anything they will do. They go to do a man and then throw down a chair. They do anything directly to get your attention. Then you have the indirectly wherein because they know they cannot talk to you, they know they cannot come straight to you, they will either go to a neighbor, go to a teacher, go to a friend, you know, and allow that person to communicate it to you, the parent, right?
Mhm.
We don't want these to happen to us as parents. We want the children to can feel like them can trust we and come to we. I mean, I say like let them trust we. Do what we have to do to let them trust we. Because the world that we are living in, let me tell you something. You see, oh, we are behave worse can happen to them than what is being
Yes.
happening to them. So
Yeah.
for us to drop our guard, our pride as parent, drop it, man. Sometimes we need to put it aside and listen to our children because worse can happen, right?
Yes.
And they seek our attention. My topic also is to look why should we listen to children? We listen to children to get a bond with them. We need a bond,
Create a
you
bond.
know? Yes, we need a kind of bond wherein no mommy say I must not do that, and if I do that I know how mommy's going to feel, you know,
Yeah.
so they care about our feelings.
And as you mentioned earlier, the trust. You have to create that bond of
Yes,
trust too. Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
Anything they can come to mommy if even sometime if I even then two, you know, important, you know, but then two at them but then two
Important to
then come
them.
to, you
Yeah.
understand, let me
Yeah.
say no important to you, but you know, and
Yeah.
don't there's those little things, don't be annoyed with it.
Yes.
Don't be annoyed. And then you understand? No. Accept it. Do like a big deal, man. They make it a big deal, do it like a big deal. So your children will trust you more when you talk to them. Yes, they will draw closer to you. They will
Yeah.
trust you in the terms where, yes, me I go home right now, go tell mommy. No man, this happen. Me want go home, me I go tell mommy this.
Can't wait to go home and share it with
You
mommy.
understand? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Same way. It also helps to prevent or it decreases further damage. Sometimes they are in certain situations and they are fallen in the situation and they don't know what to do. It is good for them to come to us. We as parents, we can give them guidance, right? So instead of that child going to another peer, wherein probably him even give him a worse decision, choose something worse than what the child is going to. All right, no, do not, man. Go back up there and do the same thing to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
child, they need to trust us and feel comfortable coming to us. That means if they are in a situation, it does not get worse than it already is. We as parents, we can guide them. We can say, okay, I know that that person was wrong to hit you, but you don't have to do that. When you go to school, you can say to your teacher, so you understand, instead of another peer say, you shouldn't lick him back. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So we as parents, we are able of guiding them, and this part we have to play with how we help to prevent or decrease the damages of the lives. not easily influenced by their peers.
Yes.
If you are a parent that talk to your child or your children, look here, may I tell you, ever you talk to some children, me talking to my daughter, he said that's not what teacher say. No matter how me a teacher, he said that's not what teacher
Yes.
say. So you
Yes.
know, so then trust teacher, you know. You know,
Yes.
trust you the parents and trust teacher. So that's that's all you want. You want them to be the bond that you want. That means that when you tell them something, nobody around can change their mind.
Right. Right.
Cannot change their mind. It gives it this communicating, talking to your child, it gives them a sense of feeling mature, sense of responsibility. You come
Yes.
in and not only their problems they can talk to us about, we can talk to them about ours. Yes, you come in, man, and you
Yes.
have a bad day at work. Me say, no, man, my day wasn't good today. You will hear them say, what happened to your mommy? You understand and you
Yeah.
communicate and you relate. This is because you have to show, as Sister Glacia say, you have to show what you want them to show you. So you
Right.
put it
Right.
out. You live what you want them to show you. So
Model it
therefore,
for
you
them.
come in and you have a bad day. You say, me have a bad day. Explain yourself and you will see them coming in. Why, mommy? Today at school, never good at all. You understand? So you're
Yeah.
getting back from them. All right? So you want them to know you are there for them. So even when they not strike the conversation, pick one, pick a conversation. If I even about issues, it will lead to something. And a
Yes.
parent's instinct, I'm telling you, have some parents have good instinct. Cause my son always say, no, mommy, I up at school you did there. I just randomly asked him some things. And he said,
Yeah.
but no, mommy, I up at school you did there. No, me no up at school sometime I we head we use. And him
Yeah.
start tell me. So pick a conversation with them. You understand any conversation that you know that they will, yeah, you have some children that they don't really talk. You have to know
Yes.
them, how to get them to talk because some
Yes.
of them are
Very,
really
very
quiet, they
important.
can keep in, right?
But even for
So,
the ones that don't talk, Deaconess, could we
mhm,
suggest that the parents allow them to write, encourage them to write?
yes, very
Write
important,
a
sister
letter.
boy.
Yes, you don't
When
talk,
I was
but open up
smaller,
and write.
yes, man. When I was smaller, I couldn't talk to my mother. I write. That's why I love write. So I write,
Yeah.
even when I was a big, 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 big girl, a big adult.
Yeah.
I write my feelings. I write them on paper. Sometimes years after I book up on them in a jar, me I say, watch ya. You
Yeah.
know, you express yourself.
Yes.
And my son, my big son, one day, what he did something wrong. He came to me about it and I asked him, I said to him, did you know you were not supposed to do this? And he said, yes. I said, okay, so how are you going to fix it? And he did not tell me. He wrote it. You understand?
Yes.
But me can't read the handwriting. I don't know if a doctor him I go turn still, so me have to call him and me have to say, oh, what word? But yes, express yourself. And sometimes when the children are expressing themselves through their actions, we have to just allow. All right, your child. I don't know if sister boy you go through this, but I've been through this. I have children who curse bad word. They hear persons
Okay.
cursing it and curse it. I don't bring it,
You
because you see,
repeat.
if I draw the attention to it, then they will know that is something,
Yes.
and then probably it about, you understand, some of the things we can lower it, the actions we can lower it. Because if she hadn't heard someone said that word, particular word, then she wouldn't repeat it because mommy is not cursing it and daddy is not cursing it. You understand? And I don't hear my child with
Yes.
it anymore. You understand? And I see other persons around say the same thing, parents too. There's the next thing we as parents has to do. Or why should we talk? You see, after we talk, yes, man, you give a little hug. A little thump off
Yes.
fist. A
And a
little,
kiss.
you know,
Yes.
Yes, yes. No matter what the situation is, you're not encourage them to do wrong. But at the end of the day,
But
you
at
have to make them know, say,
that
thumbs up
moment,
to
you
you,
have
man. You
listened
come
and
to
man
me.
about it.
Yes.
Yes,
You do the right thing, man. Thumbs up. Me there for you. Anything come to us. You tell them, I saw me why you fi come to me with everything, man.
yes,
You understand? So we should listen to our children. And it is very important why we listen to them, because remember, they are the future. They are the future. And if we must have
yes,
a bright future and an expected future, then we have to train them up, or we want them to
yes,
train their children. So for them to move from the childhood stage that they are in to be an adult as we have to train them. And it is a process. Not everyone will take it like every children. They are not the same. Some will take in fast,
yes,
some slow, some they make the same mistake over and
yes,
over and over. But don't give up on them. Talk to them same way. Encourage them same way. Because remember now, at the
yes,
end of the day, we brought them here for 9 months. We hold them in our tummy for 9 months. Right? We went through the pain and the
yes.
agony. And to carry them come for just let know, not to let them loose like that, is to guide them as parents. These are my few words. And remember that our theme for Child's Month is listen up. Children voices matters. Over to you, Sister Boy.
You hearing me, Deaconess?
Hearing you now.
Ah, yes, I'm
Decide to
hearing you,
act up
Sister
this
Boy.
evening. Can anyone hear me? Okay, you're hearing me now. I saw that I went off a while ago. All right, so I just want to say thank you very much, Deaconess Turner, Sister Glacia. Also, I don't have to say much. I don't have to add much to your presentation. You have covered it all. You have touched on every area, every single point. However, before we close off this evening, I want to invite an experienced mother to come and share with us her experience growing up her adult child today. How did she listen? Did she listen to her child? Does she have any regrets of not listening to her child in the past? Sister Mariel, are you still with us? Over to you now. Sister Mariel,
I'm here, but I don't have to say anything.
I wonder
Everything
if she
was
gonna
said.
sleep.
No, I'm not sleeping. Hello.
No, we want to hear your personal experience. Remember, as Deaconess said, every parenting it is different. It is different. Do you have any regret? Did you not listen to your daughter? Did you listen to her? How did you listen? What was your style? What did you do?
I don't have any
How did you
regrets.
identify when something was wrong?
Um, I listen to her. I know her
Okay,
likes and
awesome.
dislike. I know when she's upset silently because she will come in and say, "Hi, mommy," blow. That's the door. "Hi, mommy," blow. The door is shut. If she come in and she say, "Hi, mommy, what's up? What for dinner?" We know say everything is all right. But as long as the door closed, me going and me open the door. We always ask kids, how was their day? If you think I ask Lacey, as long as me and you know one conversation and you go to school, how was your day? How was school?
On with the internet.
That's my number one question.
We are
I
nearing the
stop
ending
by
and this is the
I
time you decide to
always
give
buy
trouble. Sister Mariel, are you still there?
I
Can you
am
hear
here
me?
talking. I am here talking.
More
Nobody
internet
hearing
when
me?
yes, I'm hearing you, but Sister Ancelina seems to be having internet issues, so you can continue talking while she sorts it out. But we are hearing you. We are hearing you.
So, as a baby, yes, I know I have to do shopping for her. When from she start go school, basic school, I take her to me pen anytime I'm gonna shop for her. She have a voice. You know why I did that? One of my church sister gave me a dress to give her one day. And anytime I want Lisa to cry, just take down the dress and say, this is what you're gonna wear to church today. She cry because she never liked the dress until me have to give it away. So as a child growing up, I if I'm gonna buy shoe, school shoe, church shoe, both of us going to Maypen. I'm gonna buy dress. Only the uniform material me buy for myself because everybody knows what are your uniform. But anything else, me and her going. Then people chase me at Maypen and tell me say, is a child and oh, you are picking. She a pick. I say hello, are you aware it? The child have a voice. What if me go Maypen and buy a pair of shoe and come and she don't like it? When me do with it? Yes, you're
Some
train
of
up the
us we're gonna
child,
tell
but the
them
Bible,
you
the
have
Bible
to wear
also
it. Some of us are
provoke the
serious
children.
things.
Pardon me?
No, I
The
was saying
Bible
that some
also
of us
say,
as parents, we are gonna tell them that they have to wear it. I bought this for you. You have to wear it. We're not gonna listen to them.
uh-uh. The child have a voice. The child don't like the thing. I don't cook anything. Lisa, what you want for dinner? Lisa, what you want for breakfast? Lisa, come and tell me what you want out of the pot. How much dumpling you want? You want this cup of rice? You want one spoon? Tell me what you want. Everybody have a voice. And if me tell you say I don't like dumpling and you keep giving me dumpling, me and you not agree. So I sit her down. When she start get big, when she go school, all right, everybody knows she passed to go Garvey. When me always go school without she knowing that me coming to school. And every time I go for a report, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad because teacher always said, Latoya can do her work, but she need to tone down on her talking. And I said to her, if me have to hear say if you tone down again, you're not gonna like what me will do to you. I did not say it publicly because children,
Yes,
school children not so nice.
yes,
Yeah, tomorrow when she goes school, at least somebody come and whatever. So between me and her, me say anytime if teacher have to tell me that again, you're not gonna like it. The first time I hear Lisa curse, and I said to her, that time she was small, I say, Lisa, oh, where you get that from? And she tell me that the man will pass with the cow give trouble, man curse. Me
yes.
say, all right. And me say, listen up now. Nice girls don't curse bad word. When
Right.
you're nice, you don't curse. And you are very nice. So no make me hear you curse it again because the man will curse it, he not so nice.
Yes.
She hate maths everywhere in her book. It mark I H A T E maths. When she get work, me always friend one teacher. Me call the teacher, me say, look here, no explain to me because by the time you don't explain, me forgot the first something where you tell me. And me
Yes.
call Lisa. Me say, Lisa, sit down. Teacher. She don't know that the teacher there. Teacher is gonna explain something to you. That's your
Yeah.
homework. She's gonna explain it. And it not the teacher not explain it for 5 minutes. Not me or Lisa say, yes, 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 yes. I get to know, I get to know. When me try to
Yeah.
tell her anything, she say, you know, so teacher say. So I listen, even going to Sunday school. One Sunday afternoon, she come in and she depend Winston kill, David kill Winston. And that time it was Mother Henry. And me take up the phone and me say, Mother Henry, what was your golden text at Sunday school today? Why my daughter talking about um when
David
Sinanida kill
Kilwinston.
Winston? And she explained. Me say, Lisa, I know so it go. He said, yeah, you know why? She got confused because Winston preached at church the same day. Me
Oh,
know I have
so
to
she's
explain to her.
getting
And I say, Lisa, the man will preach at church today that I Sister Donaldson one time son-in-law. Me say our Sister Donaldson's son. Me say the man when he Winston him preach today. You remember that fat man there? And she say, me say him preach today. I know nobody kill him. Or kill nobody. Him preach. So she in a Sunday school and she get everything jumbled up. If
right.
me never correct her now, say should have gone with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen. Me
Right.
listen all when me upset.
Yes.
I listen. And I listen to the fact that me even take away the key out of her room. Because when she's upset, the only thing you hear is blow it. Nothing more.
Yes.
And I just take out the key one day and said, I did not go and pound on the door. Me no say nothing. We just wait until she not so upset and she open the door and she come out. Me
Mm.
just go in and me take out the key. Me say, whenever you start pay rent in here, you can lock this door. But not, you not pay no rent. No, nobody not pay rent. So this key is mine. And the key never go back in there until Lisa left Jamaica.
Yes.
So I listen. And if it's something that I don't like, my voice change, the tone of voice change. Me no have no phone for deal with. Me no have no phone the entirely because phone ain't in. But I am quite sure that I listen. I don't, when she was a baby and she feed an S26, I don't know if you know them, they sitting there. And I saw one next new one advertised on TV. I'm with my bright self because they make me try this one. And say daddy eat it. I daddy eat the tonight because the first back me make Lisa would not be seen drinking it. Me have to go back,
Yes.
go buy the S26 and she drink that one. So from there, so me listen and me as a mother you adapt to things where maybe you'd have just pass by.
Yes.
And I
Look at the
don't
time.
raise her. I don't raise her like, oh, I was raised. I was raised in if you don't like me. When me mean you don't like me. And if 5 day a week you come and make complaint to my mom, they get beaten 5 days. And when school
Yes.
over, coming at A school, if two penny pass, the third one must be me. If me are the fourth one, you'll get beaten. And me
Yes.
have to cook, and me have to sweep yard, and me have to everything. And I did not have the luxury of a coal pot or a gas stove, a wood. So at least I no experience none of them day. She don't know what it is like to go clean one outside toilet when me grew up on. So because of how
Yes.
me raised, yes, it was nice because then thing that then time there. But for now, me can't me change it. We talk. I am not gonna tell her say she tell me everything. But we talk, and
Yes.
one of the big people thing, we say, hello, if you talk to Tony out a road, not in your uniform, you turn up a road, talk to Tony. Your mother and your father live somewhere. Your father a deacon, but he live somewhere. So carry Tony come, make we see Tony. Now make somebody tell me say you stand up down the road with Tony and twiddle your hair or your head side and a twine around. Come on me yard. Make me deal with the outside world, but you know stand up out there and make people come make complaint to me. And people may say me are not Christian because hello, me did young. Me ain't Christian. But I am living reality. And any Christian we say then children are go to school and then now go talk. I am not saying it now. Me not tell nobody say it now go happen. But me personally, I tell you say, if it do happen, don't stand up out there and make people have your name up and down. Come to my house because I live somewhere. So that is my two bit. And a village raising a child have its up and down because
Okay.
yes, you correct the child. You correct the child. You were given permission to beat your child. So if you beat the child out there and you at the same time come back and tell mama say, me did see Mary out there and me give him two slap. For your two
It's a
slap now go on
accountability.
nothing. For your two slap now go on nothing for do with mama because when Mary come, mama will give him two more again.
Yes.
So if this law was in when I was a child, a lot of our parents would have charged with child abuse.
Yes.
But
But I think the village raising the child or your children is not, it wouldn't be in the sense where I would give a neighbor or somebody on the road out there to the privilege of beating my child, permission to beat my child. Just being able to see the child on the road, talking to the child, or the child feels somewhat confident to speak to a neighbor if the parent is absent at that time, just to speak to the child or to speak to somebody about what is going on with the child, but not to say to beat my child, not in this modern time.
and then it all depends on how you talk to a child in the public
Yes.
because I don't like to be insulted.
Nobody.
Me personally don't like to be insulted. So I would not insult my husband and I would not insult the child because it no nice. That's why
Right.
I say when I go to school, my mother come to school come beat me. I would not go to school and beat Lisa. Because Lisa lives somewhere. Because as I say, children are nice, but they are not so nice. Because they don't, lad, Lisa mother come to school and he beat me, see. When Lisa was going to E school, and I then give a Jamal could give some of us the job to sweep street every 2 weeks. So you go with your bag and your map, your broom and what have you. And because me go out early, daddy always come with me. One afternoon when Lisa come in, because she was on the morning shift, she said, Daddy, me have to thump one boy today, you know. And me say, why? Me say, because you see your mommy out the road and you come in at school. And I said, Lisa, daddy, you this a father out of school, do out of gate a sweep road. And this daddy said to her, don't give yourself no trouble. When him come to school next week, in I don't see daddy and her mommy. A flashlight we use the next day because we don't want them for trouble her. So children, they are nice, but they are not so nice because the least little thing they take and them trouble the other one, and that will cause a fight or something. Because I did not know that they would go in and trouble her over that. Then I look and say somebody has sweep the road and keep the street clean. Down there, I look on the person that is doing it, and the person that is doing it, at least daddy and mother. So I do listen. But I mean, I don't know if mother raise anymore. A patient around teen right now. Things and times change, Sister Ancelena. You hearing me?
My internet is. Yes, I'm hearing you, Sister Meryl, but I am in and out because my internet is giving some trouble. You
Okay.
can hear me now? Am I back
Look,
on?
I've always been hearing you because I was the one talking. So I guess you don't hear enough of what I was saying.
Okay.
You don't hear enough of what I was saying
All
then.
right. So I.
Hello.
Yes, Sister Meryl, I was hearing you. I was hearing what you were saying. I was hearing what you were saying.
Okay. That's
I
my
heard
two
most of
cents.
what you were saying. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So thank you very much for sharing. And I also want to say thanks to those who joined, even though I wasn't hearing anything and I'm not hearing anything from my parents in the chat. I know I have some parents there in the chat and I am not hearing anything from them. However, I hope that you have learned something, something that you did not know while parenting your child, that you need to listen up because your child, your children, they do have a voice and their voice matters. We have some authoritarian parents who don't listen to their children.
She gone again.
I keep seeing myself loading, so I don't know if you are hearing me because I keep seeing myself loading. So, as I was saying before, we have some parents who want to always be in control at all times to dictate to their children, but that is not how it ought to be. We need to listen to our children. And I want to touch on a vital point before we go off this evening, and it is a point of child abuse, abuse in children. Oftentimes, we will hear stories after the child has grown up in their adult years or when they become adolescent, that daddy, uncle, a cousin, a neighbor, whomever was abusing them, and they were unable to share it with their parents because why? Their parents didn't listen to them, or they believe that their parents would not believe them. We cannot allow this to continue. We cannot allow this to be the norm in society. We
Sister
as
Ancelena,
mothers, fathers, we need. Yes,
Sister
Sister Mara, go
Ancelena,
ahead.
when Lisa was not a toddler but can understand between bathing and so, I said to her,
Yes,
Daddy is your daddy. But if at any time you feel uncomfortable with him touching you, tell me. And I said, you
yes,
understand what
yes,
I
yes,
said? She said, yeah. I said, there are certain things that daddy do not supposed to do. If at any time he
yes,
make mistake and do that to you, let mommy know. Me say, you understand? And she
yes,
says, mhm. Yeah,
yes,
man.
yes,
You have to
yes.
talk to them.
It is important. It is important. And as our presenters, they talk about trust. We have to create that bond of trust with our children, with our child, whether it be a boy or whether it be a girl. Boys can be abused as well, sexually abused, sexual abuse.
Mhm.
That's what I am really gearing at this evening. So we need to create that bond of trust so they can come to us with any and everything. There's something else that I want to share. It is important because sometimes us as parents, as we say, when we're listening, we must be very attentive. We must be very in tune, put away all the distraction so we can hear, we can understand, and we can interpret properly what it is that our child or our children is voicing to us. Sometimes it is not so pretty. Sometimes it's not going to be something that you want to hear from your child. So guess what? Once your child come to you and they said, "Mommy, Daddy, there's something that I want to talk to you about. I know that we don't have all Christians here, but I know that unsaved are still believers and they pray. So I want to encourage us too. When we're going to sit down to listen, have a conversation with our children, we can also commence the conversation, the session with a little prayer. Invite the presence of God. Tell him, God, I want you to keep me calm. Help me to listen and be able to digest whatever it is that my child is coming with. Prepare my mind, prepare my heart, and help me to respond to my child in a way that won't shy away my child or discourage my child from speaking to me or opening up to me about situation and events that is taking place in his or her voice. And I will conclude once again this evening's Let's Talk program by just reminding us again that our children, they have a voice and it matters, and we need to listen and listen intently to what they have to say. Thank you all for joining. Thank you very
Hey,
much to my
Sis-
presenters.
Sister Ancelena, I'm gonna
Yes.
give you a little joke.
Yes.
I tried, you know the I thing when they upset with you and they know in the position for knock you, then give you a high.
Oh, yeah,
Your
then
your parents.
yes,
And
yes, yes,
I
yes, yes.
tried it. I tried it one day. I in
Yes.
the heights of everything early said, "Hey, mommy, want to look for me?"
Oh, Lord. Yes, man. Yes, yes. When you have 1 year, if me give her the eye, she give me back the eye, Sister Mariel. Yes,
She
man. Me
said,
give her
she
the
said
eye, she
that.
give me back.
Then mommy
She
want
start
to look
give her
for me,
back some
so
kind of
they
way
couldn't
too.
do nothing else but laughing about.
Yes. So for each child, it is different. You're raising 5 children, you have to listen to each of them differently
Yep.
and choose how to talk to each of them, communicate with each of them differently. They all have different personality. So you as the parent, you must know what works for your child, your individual child, and do that. I want to say
And don't
again,
and
thank
don't
you.
don't speak. Never you speak down on your child.
Yes, yes, yes. And don't speak negative about your
Negative.
child. It goes out there into the atmosphere and it will take root and it will
Mhm.
take effect in your child's life.
Mhm.
That is also,
Yep.
yes, it's important to note. Always try and be as positive as
Mhm.
possible when it comes to speaking to and about your child at all times. Sometimes we wonder, but sometimes from a tender age, we as parents, we plant some seeds in the child life, some negative
True.
seeds, and they start to manifest in the latter
Mhm.
years, in the adult years, and
Mhm.
we wonder what is going on, what is
Cause you did
happening
tell them,
with
so
our
you did
child.
already tell them, so they not come out to nothing.
You're coming like your mama, you're coming like your papa,
Mm.
and all of these
Mhm.
things. And what was the
Mhm.
life that the father was living or the mother was living? And it takes effect in that child's life. So we have to be, yes, baby, I'm coming. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful as mothers. I'm seeing Paris, good night all. The twin asked me what is wrong with my eyes when I is it Paris right with Sister Marcia? Sister Marcia is saying the twin, her twins will ask her too what is wrong with her eyes. When she gives them the eyes. Hello, the eyes not gonna work with these children in this mother's time. It not work with them. Eh? Them give you either them ask you what is wrong with the eyes or they give you back the eye. So mommy looking at me, what is it, mommy? Yes. So yes, man. We have to just try though. Try and just reach out to our children. Try and reach them, and just create that platform, that avenue, that openness for them to come and talk to us. Be a friend to your child. It is important. God bless you all. Thank you for joining. Your support, it is greatly appreciated. See you on Saturday at 8:30 again for games night and credit giveaway. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I have several topics. I am not sure what I am coming with next week Tuesday. I have about 4 topics in mind. I have 4 different topics lined up. I'm not sure which one I'll be choosing for next week, but it's gonna be something exciting. It's gonna be something that is interesting to discuss. So, see you all Saturday and next week, Tuesday. God bless you all. Thank you once
Bye.
again, Sister Kezia, Sister Meryl, and
You're
Deaconess
welcome.
Turner for coming on and sharing with us this evening. It was indeed a well researched and well presented discussion and presentation this evening. God bless you all. Bye bye. Thank you.
Night, night.
Good night.
In the night.